Hello, all you SuperCritical JawnMan fans, and welcome to SuperCritical Reviews with the host, the JawnMan. This is a new spin-off segment where I'm trying something a little new. I'm basically going to review any game that I've currently beaten, either for the PC, PS3, or DS, the only systems that I own. This segment is pretty independent of the show and will not be featured on the live stream, save for this episode maybe. And basically, the purpose isn't to tear these games apart unless they absolutely deserve it. It's more just a way of showing you guys what I generally play along with my impressions. So, all these videos will be found on my YouTube channel, Blip.tv, and JawnMan.com. So if you watch this video, just leave a comment on your opinions of the game or of the video or whatever. So without further ado, here's my first review, the PlayStation 3 exclusive Heavy Rain. There's been years of hype surrounding this title back since 2007, I believe, where Quantic Dream, the developer, showed off some pretty impressive facial animation, tech demos at E3. That turned into Heavy Rain, which is a unique title that not only wanted to show off its technical feats, but also its original gameplay. Quantic Dream's last title was Indigo Prophecy, and even though I haven't had the chance to play it, from my understanding, the storyline was amazing. And since Heavy Rain is a game that relies on story being the driving force, then that is really good. The game is like playing a movie in every sense of the term, but even better. It's like an interactive movie to the extreme. So without really spoiling anything, the story revolves around 4 distinct characters and their relation to the Origami Killer. The game plays out like a crime thriller, incorporating tense, suspenseful chases, plot twists like crazy, and a whole lot of cops. And although this 8-hour game starts off to a slow first hour and a half start, it then escalates to moments that have me gripping my controller on the edge of my seat like no other game has done before. Alright, so the gameplay requires that you press the appropriate buttons that's prompted on screen. Think of it almost like a string of quick-time events that pretty much uses every button on the controller, including motion controls and touch-sensitive commands. Interaction with the environment will prompt certain buttons, while dodging, say, cars will prompt different buttons. It's a unique system that not only works, but requires you to be on edge at all times. Believe me, there are instances your character can die if you don't press the right button because you are looking away from your TV. Not a good idea. The button commands never get in the way of the action. Because you're anxiously awaiting for the next button, there are times you won't even think to blink. I had a couple of problems with the controls though. You do walk in the game, and that is done by holding R2, and then by moving the left analog stick, you change the character's directions. This is a lot harder than it sounds, and it will get frustrating in some parts, especially when the camera angle just suddenly changes and you're like, where the hell am I? Also, there are times when your character starts to panic and the button commands are near impossible to read because they're bouncing all over your character's head like this. And, I mean, this makes sense because it shows that your character's in a frenzy and he isn't thinking straight and stuff. But, dude, I gotta know what the hell I'm pressing since any command might have an effect later on in the game, right? Whatever. So the graphics, are phenomenal. The character models are very well designed, resembling real people, and the backgrounds are highly realistic. I rarely encountered any frame rate issues, and this is even when there are dozens of dynamically moving NPCs on screen. The visuals are truly, truly jaw-dropping and showcase the power of the PS3. I mean, I know you hear that a lot, but this game is good looking. My only complaint is a couple of stiff character walking animations. Sometimes it just seems unnatural, but considering how many different kinds of animations each character has, you can get away with that. The audio also impresses. The music is moody and accurately emphasizes the dark tone. Voice acting is pretty hit or miss, and to be honest, I only played about the first 2 hours with English voiceovers, and then I switched it to Portuguese dubs for the rest of the game. And surprisingly, Portuguese sounded a lot better, so if you know Portuguese, just stick to that. So, big question, should you buy the game or what? Well, I really enjoyed it, and if you like story-driven games and you like crime movies, then I really, really recommend you pick this up because anybody can play it. It's an 8-hour interactive adventure with branching paths. The replay value here is ridiculous, alright, considering the so many choices that you can make that affect the story and the ending. I mean, even if you let the characters die, the storyline continues. I beat the game in those 8 hours. I only unlocked 30% of the trophies. That's only 30% of potential choices that you make. That's a lot of variables. So I consider this a buy, and considering the game's been out since February of last year, you might even be able to get it for like $30 now. So just get through the first hour of the game, and you're set. It's a great game. The JawnMan recommends it. Peace.